Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tash at Wholeheartedly Tash, and you can follow me over on Instagram at whole.heartily.tash. And I'm a certified holistic health coach, and I help women get their periods back, particularly women that have lost their period due to hypothalamic amenorrhea, which is just a fancy word for saying that they've lost their period due to stress from under eating or like under fueling, over exercise, and it can be a mixture of psychological stress as well. I really want to talk today about quasi recovery or quasi recovery. People say it differently. I'm not sure if it's different accents or where you're from, but I really want to talk about that today because it's been coming up with some of my clients and I think it's quite a useful thing to know about, and it is pretty common. Now, what quasi recovery is when you're kind of half in, half out. You're not fully into recovery. So you might be eating a little bit more, which is really great, but you're still a bit restricting. And you might be eating a bit more, but you've got some fear food still that you will not touch. And you might be eating a bit more, but you have then increased your exercise and movement far more than you normally would have. So all of these things are meaning that you're not fully in it. You've not fully let go yet. You've still got that grip that you're holding on to. Maybe you feel like you're a bit more flexible, but you've still got those rigid edges. This can be mentally exhausting because you're still kind of thinking about food, you still got those tendencies, you're still maybe even counting calories, and you haven't fully relaxed and let go. Now, you can be physically recovered and get your period, which is so amazing, but I often see with my clients that there's the mental part of being recovered takes a little bit longer, which is fine, but let's be aware that it's there. Journaling can be a really great tool here where you can write down what you're feeling and you can notice patterns. And also coaching is also a great tool, and that it is great because someone can have a look at what you're doing and maybe even point out things that you're not even realising that you're still holding on to. With a coach as well, you can do this by yourself, but with a coach you might be able to face and challenge those fear rules and the fear foods that you still haven't conquered even though you potentially are physically recovered. So I see this quasi recovery kind of thing. I see this with clients that are trying to get their period back where they're not fully involved in it. They're not fully stepping into the rest part of it or the calories part or a combination. Or I see it with women that are recovered, that have physically got their period back, but the mental part is not recovered. This means that unfortunately you can easily slip back to your old ways and potentially lose your period again if you haven't mentally recovered. So how do we tell if we are fully recovered mentally and we're not in this quasi-recovery state? So one of the things can be you're not counting calories anymore. You're literally just eating whatever you feel like eating and listening to your body. That's a really great indication. If you got your period back, it could mean that you are mentally recovered, but potentially not. Another thing would be if you was invited to go out for a meal and you're not checking the menu before you go. You just eat whatever you want to eat at that time that you're sat at the table. When you realise that food is just food, it's not taking up all this mental headspace and you're not trying to track your days and track your calories and track what you're eating later and looking at these different food rules like, oh, I've had a slice of bread today, I can't have any more. You're looking at it as food is food, a carb is a carb, a fat is a fat, etc. You're grateful for your body and you actually appreciate your body for all that it can do for you, and you also respect your body. So you're moving it in a respectful manner as well. You're not pushing it. You are doing movements and exercising because you like to do it. You enjoy it, it energizes you, not because of what you ate earlier and you feel like you need to make up for it, or what you're going to be eating later and you feel like you need to move. Also, another big one is if you can relax and just chill out and you don't feel guilty. So if you're having a day where you're literally just on the sofa, you don't feel guilty about it and you still eat the adequate amount of calories that you need. I hope that answers your questions about quasi recovery. And if you have any more, you can leave them down below in the comments and follow me over on Instagram if you like.